What's the most disgusting thing you've ever done? I used to work for a company that transported bodies for the coroner's office and about 20 funeral homes in the area. I didn't really want the job, but it was not long after the economy collapsed, felons were not in high demand in the job market, and I had bills to pay. Also, I'd found my kid brother dear a year prior, which didn't do anything good for my psyche. I thought more exposure to death might somehow soften the blow, or desensitize me enough to wipe that memory from my brain. So, I receive a call at 7 something on a Friday morning. I'm to meet the medical examiner at the scene of a fire. When I arrive, I'm told the decedent is an 83-year-old man named Sidney, and it's his birthday. He planned to have the family over that afternoon to celebrate, but didn't like the look of the weeds growing between the brick pavers spanning the stretch from his home to his detached garage, so he decided to torch them. Sidney poured gasoline all over the weeds, unaware the gas can had a pinhole and he was spilling it all over his pants leg. He walks into the garage, sets the can down, lights a book of matches and tosses it out the door, and the flames come right back inside and up his leg. He knocks over the can, spilling gas all over the floor, which spread the flames to the garage walls and the Honda Accord. I go to put Sidney in the Ziploc, he's my first burn victim, and when I grab his arms, his skin crackles like a hot dog that's been on the grill too long. His skin came off in my hands, as degloving and slippage are common in serious burns. So it's probably 9:30-ish by the time I load the birthday boy into the meat wagon. He smells awful. As soon as I close the rear door, Sean, the medical examiner, sticks his head around the van's rear and says, "Ready for the next one? She's only 2 miles from here. Neighbors reported a foul odor and say they haven't seen her in weeks." The lady lived in a townhouse condo. When I arrived, there were 6 or 7 uniformed cops standing on the lawn, all with disgusted looks on their faces. The front window of this condo has so many flies on it, it resembles a scene from the Amityville Horror. Covered. No exaggeration. I ask one of the cops how bad it is. He asks how much protective gear I had in the wagon. I start listing the items. He says, "Fuck it, man. Wear 2 of everything. It's horrible in there." I'd be remiss if I did not mention that this is all occurring in August, temps are in the mid-90s, and I have to wear a suit and tie for this gig. After putting Vicks under my nose, I don my biohazard suit, respirator, goggles, additional shoe covers, and 3 pairs of gloves. I see her legs protruding from behind the kitchen island. There's a zillion flies buzzing around as I approach. Sean is shaking his head in disbelief as he takes photos. I round the corner of the island and discover this woman has a cat, and it hasn't had any meow mix in at least 3 weeks. The cat was literally eating the flesh from her owner's face as I stood there. Sean tells me we're going to be there a while, because we need to wait for a feline dentist to come there and extract the tissue from the cat's teeth. The odor caused by a human body 3+ weeks into active decomposition, in August, in a closed space, is fucking horrible. Ghastly doesn't do it justice. I'm gagging and trying not to puke and I haven't even touched this poor old woman yet. Her phalanges are exposed, she's leaking everywhere, and when I roll her over, she fell face down, the whole right side of her face had melted into the carpet. 0 distinguishable features. After 2 hours of this disgustingness, I load her into the wagon. Now I have a burn victim and one in active decomp, 3 feet behind me, and it's hot out, man. The AC in the van does not work. I roll the windows down, but I don't want to smell any more of this than I have to, so I keep all my gear on. There's a magnet for the door, but it is not in the van for some reason. So each time I pull up to a stoplight, people catch a whiff of my cargo, look over and see me dressed like I'm about to cook meth or kidnap ET. I can only imagine what went through their heads. I kept the job until the day they sent me to pick up a 3-year-old girl who drowned. My daughter was only a few years older than the girl. It messed with my head. And that was the day I discovered that my line in the sand on a dirty job is dead kids. Please hit subscribe and like if you want to hear more.